Right, Power fans and surrounding area. Welcome to Podcast Thursday, where tonight we do have one podcast that's from Rockport. It's our soccer podcast. It's the Coach Travis Rasbeary. It's our weekly podcast with our head coach here, where we talk our Lady Pirates soccer, our varsity, and our junior varsity. And on the screen, I have the head man here for the Lady Pirates, and that's Travis Rasbeary. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, Coach. It was a nice day, I guess. A little bit of rain this morning, but not too bad, not cold. So I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I was a little tired today. I got a good night's sleep, but when I woke up, as I got to work around late morning, I started to really get tired. If it was the weather. Then I came in, and I would say I'm gonna take a nap. I said no, because when I take a nap and I wake up, I'm more tired when I get up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not take a nap at all. So a little tired, but we're here, Coach. And before we get started about recapping the games and getting into our podcast, did want to give Coach an opportunity. So Coach sent me a message for one of our varsity players. And Coach, I'd like to give you an opportunity before we get into kind of talk to us a little bit about Katie, and what's going on with her. I know you sent me a text, but I'd like to give you an opportunity here to talk to the community and let us know exactly what is going on with Katie Garcia.
Yeah. So Katie's one of our senior captains. She's really the leader of our defense. She last year she started for me, and I debated and debated and debated on making her a captain, and then this year it was an easy decision. Katie suffered a back injury this year, and for right now the dreams of her playing soccer is kind of put on a hold. She's going to doctors trying to figure out what exactly the damage is done, but as of right now, she's probably going to be out for the season. She we played that game against Ingleside on that Wednesday, that rescheduled game, and we had no idea she had three broken vertebrae when we played Ingleside, and she's a tough kid. I mean, when you're talking about being tough, I mean, she literally played a game with a broken back. So, right now she's bouncing back and forth between doctors, and medical expenses are slowly adding up. And she goes to college this in the fall, and right now she's not able to work. She's not able to try to get that savings set up. So, she got a little bit of cushion when she goes to college. So, you know, Katie set up a GoFundMe to try to help the family with their medical costs, because it's not cheap. Anybody who's ever had any kind of medical anything done, it's not cheap. And so, bills are slowly starting to pile up. I sent you the link, and if you would just post that onto the social media, because the more we can get it out, the more help that we can give her, so that way, it's not going to completely offset the medical expenses, but at least it'll help. Um, but if you're looking for something to you know somebody to support, there you won't find a better person than Katie. I mean, she's absolutely amazing, and the team is definitely hurt, physically, mentally, emotionally, and just you know it, we're walking around kind of hurt right now because she was such a big part of our team.
Yeah, we had her on the podcast. I'll definitely post it up as soon as we're done here, and I'm definitely going to donate myself on behalf of the Pirates Cove Sports Network. But I've talked and on the podcast about how smart of a
Yeah,
player she was. And it's when you see kids put so much work into what she does, because she's also a power lifter, I heard,
yeah,
right? So, soccer. And to kind of sit right now and await, hopefully there'll be some good news, but just in this time, right, as a community, I think when they send someone sets up a GoFundMe, hopefully the community will all come together and help out one of our athletes in time that she needs, and hopefully she gets some good news. But either way, definitely I'm going to post the link up on our network. I know it's up. I don't know where else it's up, but if you come across it and you could definitely donate, definitely do it. It's one of our athletes here. She needs some help, and that's what a community does. We get together and we help each other out. So definitely going to do my part. And I'm hoping for the best because, like I said, talking to her on the podcast and just watching her play, not only is she a great soccer player, but like I said, the mental part that I saw was she was just so smart. So it's definitely a lost war our team, for the powerlifting team, for the soccer team. When you lose a player of that type of caliber and been around and is a captain, it's definitely going to be a loss. So hopefully the girls will gather around and get some encouragement from for their teammate, and we'll finish off the season strong, Coach. But thank you for taking some time here on the Part of Coach Sports Network and talking a little bit about your player, letting us know what is going on. So Coach, now let's get into the game. I want to talk about the Toloso Midway recapping the TM game. There were two games that Lady Pirates played TM, and then London. Let's go to the TM. Both of them were here at home. That TM game, Coach, I thought it was going to be, I don't know. I had this feeling like it was going to be a battle. I was looking and I said, I think it's going to be a battle. And it was. It was a 2-2 tie. It goes into penalty kicks, and we got the win. But Coach, talk to us a little bit about just the game, how it ended, but just what did you see from Toloso Midway that they came in ready to play? They gave us a game.
Yeah, like TM was our first real game without Katie. I'm a firm believer in like our team should be a family. We had a team breakfast that morning, and we broke the news about Katie, and so all Friday we were just kind of in this funk, and Katie and her grandma showed up to the game and kind of gave us that little pep. And before I start talking about the game, the TM coach. I can't say enough nice things about him. As district coaches, we kind of go back and forth, and we know each other by face and by title and stuff. And before the game, I was talking to him, kind of telling him, a little bit about how our team's hurting, and and just kind of what's going on. And Katie, we were able to get her to the game for a little bit, and she took place in the coin toss, and TM, without even being prompted, every one of their girls ran on the field and gave Katie a fist bump. I mean, it was extremely emotional for me and our kids, and so we started playing that TM game, and I mean, you're in your feelings against a team that wants nothing more than to beat you and get some points in district. And it was hard for us, just trying to find our legs underneath us without having Katie in the back, and she's such a huge part of what we do really well. You and I have talked several times about how solid our defense is, and Katie's been a huge part of that. So we it took us a little bit to get our legs underneath us. I think TM scored pretty quickly. I think they scored within the first 10-15 minutes, and then we battled from there. We came up. We had a couple players come up really big for us, and we were able to squeak those two goals in on them, and then it went down to penalty kicks, and the girls know how I feel about penalty kicks because we haven't had a whole lot of luck. We played a couple of scrimmages, and every time you play a scrimmage, you want to get some penalty kicks in there just to kind of see who your five are. And as that game's wrapping up and it looks like we're heading to penalty kicks, I'm sitting there with my little notebook going, okay, who do we got? And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, there was about two girls on that out of that five that I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna bury it, they're gonna get it. And I don't know about the other three, but we that was probably the best set of penalty kicks we've ever taken, that as a coach, that I've ever had kids take. I mean, every one of them was like in a corner, try to really hard for the keeper to save. We made 4 out of the 5, and even the one that we missed, I mean, the keeper barely got a fingertips on it. So we ended up winning in penalty kicks against a really good team. TM comes in and they fight. They have the ability to counterattack. They defend a lot. They kind of bunker in. They'll put 10 girls in the box, and as soon as they win the ball, I mean, they're gone to the races. So it was a good dogfight for us, and it was good to get those points, for district placings, but it showed us a little bit of stuff that we needed to work on.
Yeah, when I was leaving the game, because we were at the basketball game, and I'm going through the stadium, and I said, "Oh no, it's 2-2. Oh
Yeah,
no, it's 2-2." I saw it on the scoreboard, and then I was informed that we won the penalty case, and I was like,
yeah,
I follow Coach E when I'm out there. I'm asking, does anybody know? I'm texting. I want to know. But it was a great win. It was a grind out win, and it was nice to know that, in a close game like that, we were able to pull it out. Who knows if we're going to have more of those? So that was a great win. And so going into the next game, Rockport undefeated, going into this next game, which coach, I had been looking at London ever since I found out that they beat Cal Allen 1-0. I had been kind of watching them every game, going through Max Prep to see what I could see. And that's a pretty good team over there. They're knocking people down. I mean, they're knocking people out. They're scoring a lot of goals, is what I'm
yeah,
seeing. It's catching my eye. And so I hadn't really seen much video on them, but just to score offensively, they can really go. So I knew that this was going to be probably our toughest test so far in the season, and we do take the loss. I saw that it was kind of 3-2, 4-2, and I think they scored maybe the next two goals kind of late in the game. But
yeah.
what did you see from? I guess my question would be on their part. I know what we can do. What were they able to do to come in and give us a lot of problems with the defense, as good as we have been? And then they really were able. I mean, we got a couple of goals, but what did you see? What were they able to do that other teams weren't able to do against us?
I've talked about it a couple of times tonight already, but you know, Katie did such a good job making sure we were solid in the back, and so we kind of went on, and Desiree and Amaris, they stepped up big for us playing like in that center back role. I had talked to other coaches that have played them, and we kind of had almost like a scouting report walkthrough in the gym, and they're so quick. Every one of those girls, they play club and academy, and so they're playing all year long, and so the stuff that they do is the stuff that you see. The movements they make is the same movements that you see in the fourth, fifth state tournament. I mean, they're going to put you through your toughest task, and they were able to get those runs through the midfield. And when you're talking about two center backs that, for all argument's sakes, this is really their first year as starting center backs. When you're talking about kids who play all year round doing those exact same runs, I mean, it's hard to defend those. We ended up kind of on our back foot a little bit. They scored kind of middle of the first half, and then Candace Tidwell did an amazing job. Scored probably a minute or two right after. I mean, just back to back. They score, then we score, and then at halftime it was 2-1. And so it was a tough little fight, and then we unraveled a little bit defensively. Just like I said, we have some girls back there that stepped up tremendously, but when you go from having somebody who's been like a 4-year starter playing the same position to girls who are kind of getting thrown into the fire, I mean, it's hard, especially when you're playing a team like London. I'm very fortunate. I started making the joke calling her Coach Katie. I'm very fortunate that we have Katie, because I mean, even at home while she's watching the live stream, she's trying to send me messages of things that she sees. And there was one point in the game against London where she stayed the first half, where I kind of stuck over there behind the bench while she was sitting in her wheelchair and go, okay, hey, what do you think about this? Trying to bounce some ideas off of her for that defense. Um, like I said, we're just trying to get our legs underneath us. I don't see London being able to do that the second time that we play, because we're going to have girls that have a little more experience and a little more used to those runs. But like I said, it's just hard to throw kids in, especially against a good opponent, and expect for them to play like seasoned veterans. And don't get me wrong, they played extremely well. It's hard. It's like throwing somebody who's always played offensive line and then telling them we want you to play quarterback. It's difficult to do that.
It is, and and adversity hit us, and now we've got to overcome that. We'll get another shot at them down the road here, but that is a good London team that can score. You got to play your best game to be able to beat them. I think, because from what I've seen, that they're going to be a tough out. But again, this district has been like that. We've talked about not only London, but we knew that no team. I said, no, I don't think no team. I don't even think they're going to go undefeated. I think someone's going to beat them. There's
Yeah.
just too many good teams here, and you don't always come with your A game, and there's just too much talent in this district. So it's going to be very interesting. But we do take our first loss, and I'm sure that we're going to rebound here in the next game. So, Coach, next week. So this Friday, are we not playing this Friday?
No, it this week's our bye for Friday. We have 9 teams in the district, so it just ends up shaking up where each team gets a little bye, and it's fortunate for us. We got kind of little bit banged up against London, and so it kind of gives us that little break before we hit SGA, Kingsville, and Cow Allen. And so it's nice. Yeah, we're done for Friday, and then that gives us time to prepare for Tuesday and hopefully bounce back stronger than ever.
And Tuesday, next week on Tuesday, they'll both be home games Tuesday and Friday. Santa Gertrudis SGA will come in on Tuesday, and then Kingsville. So we asked the community to come on out and support our girls. These are two games that we need to get wins, and then we travel to Cal Allen, which will be again, not that the other teams are going to be too tough, but Cal Allen's coming in, and that's going to be a big game for us as we try to get that win. So we'll kind of preview those games here with Coach here in a big coach. But I also want to get now to the other levels of or JV actually as a varsity. So what's been going on with them? Have they been playing here? Because I know some of these schools don't have a JV
Yeah,
team.
yeah. They played last week against let's see, they I think they were undefeated. They beat Kingsville. Sorry, they got their first loss on Tuesday. They beat Kingsville or not Kingsville, Ingleside, and then they got their win on Tuesday. So, they've mercy ruled a team. I mean, they're playing extremely well. They get a little bit of a break because Kingsville and SGA doesn't have a JV team, but they lost on. I'm sorry, I keep getting games mixed up. They lost on Tuesday 2-1 against the London team that was dang good. Coach Malice is doing a great job with that JV. They played Victoria East in the scrimmage, and it was a little rough at the very beginning of the year, and they lost to London 2-1, if I remember the score correctly. And even that 2-1, that London team had beat that Victoria East team that had actually picked us apart preseason. That London team had absolutely destroyed that Victoria East school, and so the JV is doing really well. We've got a couple girls on there that are end up being bubble kids for the varsity, but it's exciting to see that we have all that promise in that JV that's going to come up, and a lot of them are probably going to get thrown into the fire next year with starting on varsity with how many seniors we're graduating this year.
I'm excited. The 2-1 against London, we're competing, right? And I think we're doing good this year. And I think that team's going to continue to get better. And I'm excited for the future. I think I know our soccer girl program is good. And I think it's really going to be, I think it's in good hands. I mean, we're going to lose seniors. And I know that when you lose the Anais and the Arianas, they hurt just like every year, right? They've been so big to the program. But I think too that the younger girls, they get to see the preparation that these girls, I think the leadership that we have had has been so good that when they leave, they're leaving like a foundation, I guess, a blueprint of this is how you do it, right? This you're seeing it. And so when you talk about, and I always remember, Coach talks about the bubble, but they're learning, whether they're playing a lot of minutes on varsity, they're seeing the preparation to the game, they're seeing the chemistry. And so I think that's going to be a big part of what is going to keep this program good and competitive for the next 5 years, right? Like we've got some good players, but the system is really good. It's built right. There's a strong foundation. And coach, when you first came last year, the one thing you told me was I knew I had talent. I just needed to build the family. And when someone leaves that family, it has an effect because of how it's built, how we put so much work into the family built. So something like this happens, it's going to have an effect. Now we've got to be able to bounce back from that and continue to move forward. So, yeah, tough loss for us, but like I said, that's just one. I didn't think we were going to go undefeated. I just thought it was just too tough. But we're going to be able to bounce back, and it starts next Tuesday. This Friday, of course, the Lady Pirates are on a bye, but next Tuesday starts again here at Pirate Stadium. So definitely, you want to come on out, support the Lady Pirates versus SGA. Should be a good one. Coach, before we start getting your thoughts on the next two games next week, I did want to talk about Desiray Ayala. So I don't know much about her. She's kind of impressed me. We streamed a couple of two games. I've seen her. She plays on the defensive side. She caught the eye because she plays very tough. She's also another smart player. I see her kind of like, and I think that's a credit to seeing her captain on defense. The one thing that always caught my eye when I saw these girls is when they're coming, they take it out of the middle, right? They hit the ball, they take it out, and they kick it out. And I'm assuming, and I'm commentating, and saying they do that to set up the defense. But she's another one that's very, very smart. I don't know her classification, but she's another one that I've seen that has some skills, I think, and a very smart player.
Yeah. Yeah, Desi last year played on the JV as a midfielder. And so this year I knew last year that if she finally made that jump over to varsity, she would probably be a defender. And this year I've given her a couple of starts, and every time she steps on the field, it's highly impressive. I threw her into the fire. I talked to her, the other day right before the London game, and I said, hey, you're probably gonna have to play center back for Katie, and you could tell instantly it was like, uh-oh, and because she's always played outside back, and I told her, I was like, I have confidence in you. I know you can play it. If you couldn't, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. And she's done amazing. She's probably about 4'8", 4'10". I mean, she's a tiny little girl, but she plays like she's 6 foot tall. And
Mhm.
so, it's nice to know that we have a little bit of that depth. Unfortunately, they're all seniors. So we graduate almost every single defender that we have, with the exception of Jocelyn, who's a freshman. And I mean, even she stepped in against London and held her own against some very, very talented girls. We do have some girls coming up from the JV that I think will do pretty well. But no, Desi has definitely had a breakout season this year. Stepping up for that defense, and especially stepping up, trying to fill that large void that Katie being injured has left us.
We're gonna need her. I see Amari's too. I know her playing good. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be able to bounce back. I know this team's gonna be able to bounce back. We're resilient, and we're gonna be able to put it all together. Still a lot of soccer to be played. And then the Lady Pirates will play two games here, and then they go on the road for about 2 weeks, I think, or so, and then they come back. So there'll be a couple of games after this next week where we will be on the road. Is that correct, Coach?
So we play SGA here, and then we go away to Kingsville and away to Cow Allen. And so we've got one more home game, and then we have a very long stretch of away games. Yeah, I'm not entirely a big fan of the way this schedule was set up. It's been nice having all these home games, but it's fixing to be we're fixing to have to be some road warriors. Going through that opposite rotation that we've had since this first district, or
I'm
this first
counting.
round of district.
I'm counting 7 road games.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, wow, 7 games. So that is
yeah,
going to be up. And then we will finish up Cal Allen. The last game will be here, and
yeah.
we'll be there to stream that game, so you can definitely catch it. But again, next week, Coach. So I'm reading it. I'm not reading it from the schedule. I was reading it through Maxwell because I already had it
Yeah.
set up. So SGA is here. Kingsville is in Kingsville.
Yeah, Kingsville is in Kingsville. SGA is here. Yeah, Kingsville was unable to field a JV team, and so we almost sat in limbo for a little bit, going, are we going to play same side as the boys, or are we going to split sites? And I think they're still hoping that they can scrounge up enough kids for a boys JV team. So yeah, we'll be the last two games of this round in district will be away games, and it's nice because that means we can finish the last two games of the regular season at home. So we'll have Kingsville for senior night, and then we'll have Cal Allen to hopefully shock the world and end up ending the regular season with a big win and a big upset against Cal Allen in the same place that they broke our hearts last year.
I tell you, coach, it's going to be good. You got to come out here and get excited. There's still a lot of soccer to be played, and this thing could go either way. It's going to be some great games that are coming up. It's far from over. Let's get your thoughts on the next game on Tuesday. SGA, I think you saw them. I think they were part of the Toast of the Coast tournament. And you've talked a little bit about them, but coming in, it's going to be a district game. And definitely, we want to win, but we want to see us play. I think the next two games, the best that we played this season. What do you want to see from the Lady Pirates? And one thing that going into the next game that you feel right now we're not where we need to be. What's the one thing you want to see them get better or improve on against SGA?
Yeah, we were able to play them in the tournament, and I got to give credit to their coach. They from last year to this year, it's night and day. It almost looked like they got a whole new crop of kids. I think I recognized two kids that we played against last year, but they've gotten tremendously better. I think when we played them last year at our house, I think we were beating them 5-0, 6-0 at halftime, and they had so many injuries that they had to tap out at halftime and forfeit the second half. But it's not going to be like it was last year. And so the stuff that we need to work on is making sure that our defense is being one cohesive group and talking to each other. With Katie not being there, we've kind of lost that little bit of the vocal leadership in the back, and so we're focusing on a lot today, and then we're going to focus a little bit on Monday about being able to communicate through that back line and just making sure that we're solid. Because I'm hoping that SGA gives us a chance to kind of be able to play a little bit to our defensive backs and kind of build up out of our defense instead of just trying to play kick ball and just trying to clear it a lot. Our counter attack with our attackers in midfield, it's dangerous. I think we talking to a couple of coaches, I think we probably have one of the most dangerous counter attacks from any team in the district, and that's how we scored that goal against London. And we, Candace Tidwell, we did it again, and Candace Tidwell, I think she went hit double post, hit one, and I'm not entirely sure it didn't go in before it hit that second one, but we're very good on our counterattack, and I want us to try to touch up a little bit on that against SGA. Like I said, they'll come out and play. It's not going to be they're not going to be the whipping post of the district, but we should be able to kind of refine the things that we need to work on, and then we should be able to turn around and do that against Kingsville. So that way, when we hit Cow Allen, we can hit them in the mouth and hopefully go 2-0 against them in district.
That'll be really, really good. And again, it starts next Tuesday. SGA coming into town to Pirate Stadium to take on the Lady Pirates. So we definitely don't know what the weather's going to be like, but definitely come on out and support our soccer programs. We will not be there this week. We'll be basketball, but after that, we're going to turn our focus over to soccer. We got softball and baseball as well, but we'll make our rounds and we'll be back to stream some of the Lady Pirates games. We've streamed two, and then get with Coach Beck, and we're definitely going to catch some of the boys as well. So we'll be making our rounds, but next week we will be in the basketball on Tuesday here, and then on Friday as well, and then we'll turn our focus back over to soccer and softball and baseball. So if you can't make the game, definitely support when we're out there on the live stream. You can catch it on either the Pirates Coast Sports Network or YouTube or Facebook. I'll let you guys know, but definitely streaming more games. We're getting out there, podcast. We're going to try to put the whole bundle together to let the community know. They get to hear the coach, players, and then get to see the streams. And so I think when you put the whole package together, it's going to look really good. And you can definitely get the big picture of what we're trying to do here with our athletic program in Rockport Fulton. Coach, next week I'd like to ask you. We brought in the girls. Obviously, we had Candace and Carly and Lauren and Ari. I'd like to be able to go defense next week or whenever you can. Who's the goalie? Who's our goalie?
Mercedes Esparza, and then we also we've also thrown our freshman Sydney Barton in there too, and so those girls, they crack me up because when we get to practice and we're trying to do things, I can't get them to stop talking, and then as soon as I offered them a chance to come on here, I can hear those crickets chirping.
There you go. I would love to give him an opportunity. I can just remember Desert Ayala. I know Amaris, and I think I saw Kara Hill,
Yeah, Kara Hill plays in the midfield for us,
Kara
but
Hill,
she's definitely a big part of that defense. But yeah, we've got right now we've got Desi, Amaris, Kimberly, and Mackenzie getting a lot of reps with that defensive back four.
McKenzie was the other one in the goalie. So yeah, coach, if we can get him on, that'd be great to have him out there. We can talk defense. We've had the offense, so now we'd like to get some of the defensive players and the goalie. So if we can get them, they're not too shy. It seems like they love to talk. Tell them to bring that talk onto the podcast. Man, we love. That's all we do here. We talk, so they have a great opportunity to let us know what's going on. But it's a lot of fun. So I hope you can get them on. And we look forward to bringing them on, creating a post, letting the community know. So, as you can hear here, we're working on trying to get the defensive specialist, the girls, to come on now. So, Coach Rasbeary's going to do his part to try to talk them into coming in. Maybe that'll be next week. Maybe it'll be down the road. We'll see. But, Coach, on the Kingsville, we'll wait up since the game's not until Friday. I'll have you preview it next Thursday. But thank you for coming on once again, and good luck. I know it's been tough for the program. This week has been very tough for you, for your assistant coach, and for the players. I know from last year and this year, I know how much you put on family, and I know how much you preach it and put it together. These girls see each other like a family, and so when one's hurting, they're all hurting. But I also know that they're going to be able to bounce back. This week was tough for us, but come next week, I think we'll be right back where we need to be and ready to play some soccer. So thank you for all you do for Rockport Fulton Sports, for our soccer program. I think it's going to continue to get better. And like I said, with our junior varsity, they're doing very good this year. And a lot of those girls will be up on varsity next year. So again, we'll continue to talk about them, shine some light on those girls as they'll be up on varsity next year. But I think our program is in a very good place right now. And that credit goes to you, coach, first, your assistant coach, and everything you guys have done since you've been here. You've only been here 2 years, and you've made such an impact on our program. We're really lucky to have you. I've said that a couple of times, but it's very, very true. So thank you for everything you do, and I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Like I said, I'll try to get my defense on. I might have to threaten them with a little bit of walking lunges or a little extra running to try to motivate them to come on. But thank you for giving us this opportunity because I know the girls, even though they might hate me dragging them on here, I know they do love once they get in the spotlight a little bit. I think they do love getting that recognition and getting to live a little bit in the spotlight. But thank you for giving us this opportunity and like you and I talked about at the very beginning, those who are able to please help Katie out in her fight to recover. They said she's got to GoFundMe and you will not find a better human being, soccer player, athlete than Katie. Like I said, she's absolutely amazing, and it's a very extremely worthy cause.
Absolutely. And this community gives a lot. And I think all we have to do is just continue to put it out. Like I said, we'll continue to talk about it. We'll talk about it on our live streams as well, just to remind people. And definitely try to post this up as much as we can. And like share it. Like if you see it on our page, you share it to your timeline. Get it from us and share it over to your timeline. Get more eyes on it. Let's help. Um, One of our players, she's a student athlete here. She's a senior. So this community has always been very giving, coach. I've been here all my life, and we got some great people here. And when there's help is needed, this community has always been able to rise and help. So I think they'll do the same thing. It's just a matter of really getting it out there and letting the community know what's going on. I think a lot of people still probably don't know. So we're going to do our part. Thank you very much for sending me the link. I'll definitely post it up tonight before I go to bed. And if you need anything else from us, coach, you got my number. Send me a text in any way that we can help you and the team or Katie. Don't hesitate to reach out to me and we'll do our part.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And good luck next week, coach. I won't see you till Thursday. So we got to get that win on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.